will be ready for later on. So we'll just get started as we usually do with our round of introductions. So I think Nyan, you might be first on the list there. Do you want to introduce yourself and say hello?
Hello everyone. This is Nayan joining from Bangalore. So here, guys are celebrating Diwali, so I can just mute myself because a lot of cracker sounds are coming.
Happy Diwali to you, Nayan. Thanks for joining. It's always fun to hear the crackers in the background this time of year.
Yeah.
And then Arshut, do you want to introduce yourself? You can just say your name, what organization with, and where you're calling from.
I'm from Bangalore, RV College.
Okay.
I'm in my second year right now, electronics and communication engineering.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure to have you on the call for the first time today, and thank you for coming to us. So.
Thank you.
And then, Auguste, did you want to introduce yourself? So.
Yes, Auguste Niragira from Burundi, system admin and Mifos implementation.
Okay, thanks for joining today, Auguste. And then Dana, do you want to say hello? Oh, you might be on mute, Dana, if you're trying to talk. I'll let you go ahead, Marcus, while Dana's getting her mic turned back on. So.
Hi, I'm Marcus. I'm a volunteer located in Germany.
Okay, thanks for joining today, Marcus.
You're welcome.
And then Sam, do you want to say hello?
Hi, Sam Ferguson from World Relief, and we're evaluating Mifos for a couple MFIs that I'm affiliated with. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Then Tengiz, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Terence from Finland. I'm just attending to maybe learn something.
Okay, glad to have you on again, Tengiz. And then... hey Terence, thank you for taking time to join, and we're looking forward to your showcase today. We're just doing introductions right now, so do you want to introduce yourself, Terence?
I'm Terence from San Jose Solutions, Bangalore. Yeah.
Thanks, Terence. And then Vishwas, do you want to say hello as well?
Yeah, sure. I'm Vishwas. I work for Conflux Technologies, and I'm calling in from Seattle.
Okay. Thanks, Vishwas. Glad you could join in the morning today. And then Dana, did you get your mic working yet? Well, I think Dana's calling in today somewhere in the southern part of the U.S. She's driving down as she's completing her move from Ohio. So thank you for joining today, Dana. And then this is Ed from California, and I help to run the Mifos community. Vishwas, if you don't mind, I'll let you kick off giving just an update on some of the issues and items that are being worked on for the 1.25 release and what you think will be coming up in the forthcoming point releases or other releases. So.
Sure, right. So last week we shipped the 1.25 release. So some of the major functionalities which have shipped. Ed, could you put the others on mute?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. So some of the major items which have been shipped in this release is now we support interest-free calculation for loans. So you have configurable risk definitions, and you have compounding options too. And there have been a major improvements for accruals. So now you can run point-in-time accruals for your loan accounts. And there have been new APIs which are introduced for easier prepayment functionality on loan accounts. We also have support for hooks, including webhooks, and there have been a number of cleanups to the community app. Some of the other things which are not mentioned in the release notes was now we have the Android client available on the App Store. We also officially released batching, the ability to batch APIs. So this had been present over the past couple of releases, but we hadn't made it official yet. And so there's also work around making the Mifos X WAR file executable. So now the WAR file ships with an embedded MariaDB server and Tomcat. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the 1.25 release. So right now we are working on a number of bug fixes with respect to interest recalculation, and we're also working on having the user interface for loan rescheduling functionalities which have been introduced newly. So this release should be out sometime next Wednesday or Thursday. That's going to be release 126. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, and what was the main fix or enhancement in that one, Vishwas, for 126?
126, most of the fixes are related to interest recalculation with respect to charges.
Okay.
With respect to charges, fees, and penalties.
And for the folks on the call, have there been any issues or feedback you have on the release now that it's been out for a week and a half or so?
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody on the call has is maintaining a large instance of Mifos X. So for those of you who are trying to upgrade to 125 for a larger instance, say more than 20,000-30,000 loan accounts. So you might run into an issue with one of the SQL updates. So we have released another alternate version of that SQL update. So you can see the details in the mailing list. In case you're stuck, so you can just reach out on the mailing list.
One question on the Android client that's released. I'm still getting unsigned errors when I try and load that from the App Store. Am I pulling the wrong client, perhaps, or what's the issue?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Oh, it was Sam was still getting unsigned errors when he's downloading the Android client, so he was wondering if that was the correct one.
Yeah. So which client are you downloading, Sam? So we have two clients. One is called. If you could just send me the link from which you downloaded the client, I'll be probably able to help you. So because we have an older Android client which was meant for the original Mifos project, and the one which we have released recently, that is probably 5-6 days ago. So that's the one which works with Mifos X. Let me just paste the link to the download.
I pasted a link too, Vishwas. Hopefully one of those works.
Okay.
Sam, did you get that link?
I did, thank you.
Okay. Which were you trying, the old one or was it the current one you were trying?
I think it was the old one.
Okay, great.
I'll confirm though.
Sure. Okay. And then one quick thing I wanted to bring up, and thanks Vishwas for those updates. One quick thing I wanted to bring up before we moved on to the showcase that Terence was going to do of some of the work that San Jose Solutions has been working on. It was just a quick discussion on digital currency integrations with Mifos. So I forwarded a few links to some of the developers on the call today. I would be interested in hearing more from other developers on the call and others on the call about one of the links I just sent there. So we're looking at, as a community, potentially doing some submissions for this round of grant proposals that the Gate Foundation has. They're called challenge grants, and one of their focus areas this round is on innovative solutions in the mobile money and payment space. And so they're looking for like groundbreaking ideas and new concepts. So one thing we were looking at that might be interesting is some type of integration with Stellar, which is an open source. They're positioning themselves as a public infrastructure for money. So it's a distributed ledger and exchange system, sort of similar to the Bitcoin protocol. So I've sent a link to the stellar.org site. I'm not sure if developers on the call are too familiar with them specifically, but wanted to have some just discussion from the developers around Mifos and these alternative currencies and what that might look like, because I think there's a fair amount of folks out there who think these will have huge potential for bringing banking services to the unbanked down the line, and it's early days right now, but would like us to be thinking about that from a development perspective. So. Marcus, had you had a chance to look at the links I sent yesterday?
No.
Okay. I included
just a thought that...
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go on, Vishwas.
Yeah, so to integrate a new currency in Mifos X, technically it wouldn't really be challenging, but the real challenge would be how people are actually going to go ahead and use the integration, how people actually plan to use it in the field. So we should really be having some users who think they can use digital currency, who have some kind of use case for using digital currency. So I think that's where most of the effort needs to come in from it.
And Terence, have you seen, like, from your interactions with some of your users, have you seen any of them looking at, seriously looking at some of these other digital currencies as alternatives to cash? And likewise for you, Sam, so given you represent the users pretty well.
I haven't really, mainly the actual currencies, the rupee, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
No, I would say not. No, I think that there's probably some fairly steep regulatory hurdles that we would have to jump before that would be realistic.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, well, I'll circulate the links to more of our users and whatnot, but for the developers on the call, like, have something, back of your mind if you're passionate about some of these digital currencies and distributed ledger systems, as we're looking at potential ideas and concepts to submit that are sort of new and sort of pie in the sky ideas, and this might be one of the ones we work towards if we can gather more concrete concepts and ways to prove it out. But just wanted to bring that up so it's on people's minds. And then I know that, I reached out to you, Sam, about some of the work you're already doing with mobile money potentially. So look forward to discussing that a bit more later. And then Andres, I know that this might be a good fit for the work you're doing in Uruguay, this Gates Grand Challenge program. So we'll discuss that separately if James hadn't already spoken to you about it, Andres. And then Terence, if you're if you're ready to share your screen, I'll let you, introduce and show off some of the work you've recently been sharing with the community, so others can see how you built it out and provide any feedback or ask any questions they've got.
Okay. I've been having some issues with Windows, but my presentation is actually locked up on my Linux file system. But the rest of it is okay. I mean, I can access it from here, and I guess I can go ahead with. So, would you like me to start with the Debian packaging system, or would you like me to start with the Messenger, the SMS sending application?
I think whatever your preference is, Terence. And let me make you the presenter. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and give a little background just on yourself and your organization too, Terence, for those who aren't too familiar with you yet.
Right. Yeah, I'm Terence from Bangalore, and I set up San Jose Solutions a few months back. Really focused on providing solutions to microfinance institutions, and I also have a few years, about 8 years experience in open source, and I'm a programmer as well. So I also am excited about the possibilities of extending the Mifos platform and helping it to do, getting it to do things, and helping the community as well. So a couple of things I've been working on recently. One is the Mifos X Messenger. I hope you're able to hear me clearly, because there's a lot of fireworks going on around. Today is a festival here, so I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
So a couple of things I've been working on. One is the Mifos X Messenger, which is an application to send automated SMS messages to any number in India.
One thing before you keep going, Terence.
Yeah.
Like, were you sharing anything on your screen, or no? Because I just wanted to make sure, because we weren't seeing anything yet. So.
I'm actually sharing. Do I need to click something to share on my screen?
Yeah, so I made you presenter, Terence, and there should be like a little play or pause button.
Share my webcam. Is that the one? Okay.
That'll share your video camera, but there should be something to share your screen. So.
Share preferences. Just a second. Let me. There's only an option for the webcam.
I'll make you presenter again. So let me switch it back over to you and see if you get an option then. So. Do any options pop up for you now, Terence?
No, I don't see any other options.
Let me try one more time. So.
I have a drop-down which says webcam and preferences.
Huh. Okay, well maybe we'll just go off of the links you send us, and you can just speak to, what you've worked on, Terence, until we can get your screen working. Or if there's like a set of screens you want me to display, I could display them and share. So.
Okay. Okay. So it's on your screen now?
Yeah, I can take back control over the meeting again.
Okay. Yeah. Can you take back control of it?
Yeah. Let me know if there's a link or page I should open. So.
Okay. Yeah, if you can go to blog.sanjosesolutions.in.
Okay.
Maybe I can send that on the chat.
And are you going to cover the Debian package or the Messenger first?
I think I'll start with the Debian package.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to see your screen.
Oh, okay. Let me. Should be visible now. So.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it now. Okay, so I'll start off with the Debian package which I've built. Now, there are a few steps which are mentioned in the install.md document to install Mifos X. A couple of methods. One is the Amazon Web Services, and the other is the installation on Ubuntu. Now, I preferred the second method because I have a VPS and I have a few virtual machines, and I wanted to install it myself on Ubuntu and Debian. So when I was trying that out, after a couple of hiccups, I was able to install it. Then I decided to make it into a Debian package because I figured that a lot of other people would be facing the same issues, and this would make it very simple. So there are a number of things that that are involved in installing Mifos X. Firstly, the backend database MySQL server. Then there is Tomcat web server, and the JDK, that is the Java runtime environment. And there are a few configuration steps as well, like creating and initializing the databases and setting up the SSL keys. Once all that is done, there is also the server.xml which needs to be configured with the SSL key store, and finally dropping the executable WAR file into the Tomcat web apps directory. So all these steps are listed in my blog, so all these steps are mostly automatable, is what I figured. And what this Debian packager does is, if you just run a single command, sudo apt-get install Mifos X, once you have the repository in your apt sources, you can find a couple of ways on the blog entry to add those entries. And so all it needs is a single line in your sources.list, and you can just do an apt-get update and apt-get install Mifos X. So what this does is it pulls all the dependencies, Tomcat, MySQL Server, OpenJDK7, and it downloads Mifos X, all the components required to run Mifos X. That includes the NG provider backend, the community app, and the API documentation. And it does all the configuration and all that for you. It asks you a couple of questions. One is the MySQL root password, and the other is the information for generating the SSL key that the key tool prompts you. So once you specify all that information, it does everything for you, and you have a a live Mifos X installation running on the Debian or Ubuntu system. So this is applicable to Debian and Ubuntu and any other Debian-based distribution. So a lot of VPSs. I mean, if you're looking for a long-term stable option to deploy Mifos X, you would normally be looking at a server. So just for trial, you may install it on your laptop, which may be Windows or Mac or whatever. But for servers, you would probably go in for you have a lot of cloud options with Amazon Web Services, as well as a lot of VPS options and so forth. And you can easily get a Debian or an Ubuntu-based server for Mifos X. And yeah, so basically it's applicable to Debian and to Ubuntu and other Debian-based distributions. So yeah, that's a summary of basically what it does. So any questions anyone has on this? I just tried it out. Yeah.
Someone puts together.
Oh, Dana, you were cutting in and out, I think so.
Sorry, I couldn't hear the question. Was there a question? I've updated the package information with the Mifos initiative. I mean, the package description has the all the necessary information. So we can look at getting it incorporated into Ubuntu official as the next step, and even Debian is possible.
Okay.
As well as any of the Debian-based distributions.
Yeah, that would be good. Terence, let us know what assistance or support you need from our end to do that. So.
Sure.
And then, did you work out with Vishwas regarding like hosting or location of where it'd be? Because I think we were just, Vishwas had proposed just redirecting the URL to where you had it.
Yeah, I've already put it up on mifos.sanjosesolutions.in that you can see that on my blog and installation Mifos X 1.25 on Debian or Ubuntu. That's the URL on which it is hosted. In the same article right there in the yeah, so that's where it is currently hosted. And I've tested it out directly running it, downloading it from that location onto my virtual machine. And I tested out on a clean Debian, that is which does not have any MySQL or Tomcat or anything installed. So it's ready to use right now. And we can also redirect packages.mifos.org to the same URL. So currently I've hosted it on my VPS in Florida, but it can be hosted on. It's just a set of files basically. There's a couple of packages files and a release file and basically a set of files. So it doesn't require much resources. It's just a few folders and files with basic access. There's no HTTP or anything. I mean, it's just normal files.
Okay. And Vishwas, have you had a chance to set up that URL redirect yet? When I tested it out, I didn't see it point over. So.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of noise here. When the fireworks go off, all the car sirens start sounding. So.
Oh, I was on mute for a second, Terence. I was saying we'll cross-post your blog post to the Mifos blog and bring more visibility to this.
Right.
Okay. And then I think. Feel free with going ahead on your next showcase or overview, Terence, if you'd like.
Okay. Okay. The other thing that I've done apart from the Debian packaging is it's on the same blog itself. That is the Mifos Messenger automated SMS notification application. Now, there was a requirement from my client that the dilemma was how to. Now, Mifos already has an Android application which makes it possible for loan officers to go for the group meetings and provide all the services via their Android application running on their mobile. But then the question is that how do they confirm to the clients the loan repayments that have been made? Do they print out receipts and give them? And if they have to print out receipts, then the logistical problem of having a printer out there in where there's the constant electricity is probably not sure. So we decided that if it is possible to have automated SMSs go out to the clients confirming any loan repayments or financial transactions, that would be great and help them to get an immediate confirmation about the amount that they have repaid or withdrawn or whatever it is. So when I checked back with Mifos, I found out that Marcus and Avik had been working on a WebHooks API, which makes it possible for you to have your own an independent application, which Mifos can communicate with, and Mifos can inform that application when there is a financial transaction, and give the necessary information such as the transaction ID and the loan ID or the savings account ID and so forth. And using this information, it is possible to construct the SMS. Of course, there's an additional step of Ed, can you scroll down to the sequence diagram that is below this on the same blog post? And if you can just click on that, and yeah. So so the first step is that the once the financial transaction happens either through the web or the mobile interface, then Mifos X backend makes a post request to the application, whichever application you specify in the WebHooks API, and it provides all the necessary information which I was talking about, like the transaction ID and the loan ID, etc. Now using and the client ID as well. Now using the client ID, the client information can be fetched, like the mobile number and the display name. And using the loan ID and the transaction ID, the other details like the currency and the outstanding amount and the balance, outstanding balance, as well as the amount actually transacted or repaid, all those details can be fetched. So basically Mifos Messenger receives that post request and then gets all this information from Mifos, and it constructs an SMS to be sent to the client via the SMS gateway. So you would have seen a couple of sample SMSs on the blog post. So the format is, Ed, if you can go back up to the mobile, if you can just click on that mobile. Yeah, so so currently the format of the SMSs is as shown in this demonstration on this screenshot. These are actual screenshots of my mobile where three types of transactions were tested out. One was the loan repayment, the other was the savings deposit, and the other was the savings withdrawal. What this provides is a template. There's a class for specifying these templates, which also can be customized. So all of this information can be, if you want it in a different. Of course, this is currency independent. So whatever the currency is set in your Mifos database and of your clients and of your loans and all that, the same currency will be picked up and displayed over here, and the amount and the account ID and all the details are picked from the Mifos database itself. Yeah, so basically it's this is what it does. Any questions so far? Okay, so the Mifos Messenger currently uses T-bulk SMS as a test provider, and what I've done is I've made this an extensible framework where there's an abstract class which can be instantiated. So if another provider has to be added, just a subclass of that abstract class can be created, and just a couple of methods need to be implemented for that. So generally there is just an send underscore SMS. There is a function send underscore SMS which needs to be implemented, and that. Ed, can you go to the Mifos repository? That would be github.com/San Jose Solutions/Mifos X Messenger. Maybe I can send you a message.
I think it's up now, Terence.
Yeah, okay, this is the one, yeah. So if you can go to the lib and Mifos X Messenger and a T-bulk SMS sender. Okay, so this is a sample of the subclass that I've created for T-bulk SMS. And the main method which needs to be, there's just a couple of methods, and the main method which sends the SMS is the send underscore SMS, which takes a number and the message. And depending on the provider, you would have a different URI, which is, in this case it is login.tbulksms.com in the initialize function that is visible there. And for depending on the provider, that URL and the parameters would be would change. So another subclass can be created of the same parent class, that is the message sender on the top, and that can be used to send to any other provider as well. Ed, if you can go back to the parent directory of the same Mifos Messenger, just go up and up again, yeah. Yeah, Messenger, yeah. So if you can just scroll down, if you can just, yeah. Yeah, so installation is basically just, this is a Ruby on Rails. I mean, actually it's not Ruby on Rails, it's a Ruby framework. Though not Rails, it's called Sinatra framework. And to install it, you can just clone this repository or just copy the entire code that is over here. And once you install the gems, there are 4 gems which need to be installed. And that is given in the install section over here. Gem install HTTP client, gem install JSON, Sinatra, and Sinatra-contrib. So once these gems are installed, then you can just run ruby space app.rb. App.rb is the main file, and of course it can be deployed on Apache as well as Nginx and other web servers. So that I'll probably maybe make a screencast and send it across to install that. So basically, once that is installed, then it will be running on your. If you run it via ruby space app.rb, then it will run on port 4567. That is what I used for testing. So it can be run on your standard port 80 if you want to deploy it. So once that is done, you can just test it out using the URL itself. Just type that URL in the browser, and you should be able to see a message saying that Mifos Messenger. And once you get that URL, the same URL can be pasted into your webhooks when you create the webhooks for the target of the webhooks, and it will automatically take it from there. It will automatically, and you need to mention the transactions that you want to specify there. Ed, would you be able to go to the demo, the Mifos demo, online demo?
Yeah, I'm going there now, Terence.
Yeah, I can see. If you can go to the webhooks API.
Okay.
Yeah, so just click create hook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here the payload URL would be the URL of the application, and the content type would be JSON, JSON. Yeah, it will be all small. And the payload URL, I've only tested a local version of it. So this would be on your system edge. So it won't be accessible from your network. But here's where you would type. Basically, it would just be an IP address of the host on which you're running the Mifos Messenger. And if you're running it using the method which I first mentioned, that is ruby space app.rb, then it will be port 4567. So it will be something like IP address http:// that is http:// in the beginning. Yeah, followed by IP address. Yeah, localhost or IP address :4567. Yeah, it would be something like this. And you would need to add the events for the loan repayment. So under events, it would be loan. If you can select transaction_loan right at the bottom. Yeah, loan and repayment. And yeah, just add that, and then add transaction_savings and savings account deposit, and yeah, and withdrawal. Yeah, so once these 3 are added and you submit, then it will automatically take it from there. Whenever there is a loan repayment or any of these transactions, it will send the SMS. I will make a screencast of this and send it across, because I basically work on Linux most of the time. So I think that would work out well for me.
Yeah, that would be nice, Terence, if you had the time to do a screencast locally and then could share that. So.
Yeah. So any questions?
Maybe, yes.
Yeah.
Marcus is speaking. So
yeah, Marcus,
you're
hi.
integrated. Hi, you integrated the webhooks right now. So my question would be: is there something you wish to see, which maybe ease your usage of it?
Actually, I mean, this was like amazing to see the way it's been designed, because I found it very very easy to use, and now the documentation is also there in the API docs as well. So yeah, I mean, it was in terms of the way how easy it was to actually integrate this. I think I couldn't have dreamt of it being easier.
Okay. So we're currently thinking about allowing you to specify fields you want to have back. If you're, let's say, you're creating the loan you're creating the loan repayment request, and we think about, instead of forcing you to do multiple requests after you received it, you could specify meaningful and useful fields you want to have back, and we just gather them and put them into the body of the post, so you do not have to call Mifos again and again and again to gather all this information. Would this be something you would be interested in?
Yeah, I think that would be great. Because in any case, the transaction ID can uniquely identify the transaction and hence the amount of the transaction. Yeah. And it should be also possible to get the loan information and the client information, at least the display name of the client and the mobile number. That would be useful. But I guess the current functionality, I mean, without disturbing the current functionality, if a separate, you know, maybe URL can be added for that kind of a thing, or the transaction itself, I mean, adding stuff should not break anything, so I guess it should be good.
Yeah, that's the point. So if we really add some query parameters which are optional, you really do not care about, because your stuff won't break, and if we put more information into the body, it also won't break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, okay. Cool. That's all from my side.
So if there's any other queries, we can always I can be reached on the mailing list, and yeah, on the mailing list basically.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello. Yes. Could you provide documentation on how we can integrate with different providers like Nexmo or Twilio, and also how we can translate the message, which is going to be the SMS? I think by now it's just English, right?
Yeah, it is. If you go back to the code add to the GitHub repo, if you go back to the MYU provider, I think it will be in your history, a couple of links back. I mean, or you can, yeah, you can just go back, yeah, a couple of, to the MYU provider.
Which folder should I be in, Terence?
Okay, or you can just go to lib, Mifos Messenger, and inside that the MYU provider. Yeah, T-bulk SMS. Yeah,
Okay.
T-bulk SMS. Yeah. Okay. So what you can do is you can just create a class just like this one here, and this is for one particular provider, and they had specified that they require a post request with certain parameters to be sent in order to use their SMS API. So to test this out, you can use the Postman client on Chrome, which is a plugin for Chrome, or any other REST client. So this would be generally a REST client would be a great tool to use for testing out and debugging this. And you can just create a class like this once you have figured out that it actually works. You can create a class like this and just make it to extend the same parent class here, that's the message sender. And you can just implement the send underscore SMS method here, which is mentioned. And you can use the HTTP client library to do so, because HTTP client helps you to send GET requests and POST requests and so forth. So here you can see the last line of this code. You can see a client.post. Your provider may use GET or POST or whatever the parameters may vary, but you can use the same, the HTTP client class to make that request. So as you can see, this is like a lot is accomplished in a few lines of code. So this actually should be quite straightforward to write for other providers as well. I hope that answers your question. Okay, there's another part to the question which if I recall, was the how to translate it to other languages. So for that, Ed, if you can go to the Mifos X Messenger, the parent directory of this, I mean the one inside that actually, the lib Mifos X Messenger. Okay, now here if you can go to message templates.rb, yeah, that one. Okay, now here the message templates are actually specified, which make it very easy for you to. It's just a single string. In fact, Ruby, when you give a string there, it automatically returns that. So all you need to do is whatever is within quotes, like dear client display name, your loan amount of so and so, recorded a repayment of whatever that is. You can just put that in your own language, and you can it will work for whichever language. I mean, you can completely customize the template according to your requirements.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Sure, most welcome.
Okay, were there any other questions for Terence? Well, thank you, Terence, for sharing both of these wonderful tools back with the community.
Sure.
It's great, proof of our ecosystem and how the platform's helping others like yourself to build and innovate very quickly. And we're going to definitely highlight this during our board meeting that we have tomorrow. So thanks for sharing this. It's a good proof point that we're very eager to share with others. And then did other folks on the call have any pressing topics or questions they had? So we've got a few developers on. This will be a good time if you had any questions you wanted to try and get resolved. So.
Apologize for the noise again.
Oh no, but thank you, Terence, for taking time during the holiday season to join for the call, and at short notice as well.
Happy Diwali, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of light and sound today.
Yeah, especially sound. Light we do not see.
Light you do not see.
Terence, this is Nayan here. I don't have any questions.
Yeah,
but
hi,
let me Hi, like no, pretty nice documentation and example of like no, so things makes very clear. I just went through the blog before this call, so things were really documented.
Sure. Thanks. Hopefully we'll have a local meetup over here in Bangalore because I haven't had the chance to meet up with the guys from Conflux, and I think Michael Warburger will be here soon, so hopefully we can organize something.
Okay. Yeah, well, like let's discuss, Nayan, if we can try and get something organized while Michael's down there so everybody can be there in one place. So.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thanks for that suggestion, Terence.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Terence, and thank everyone else, especially Vishwas, for presenting and joining us today. We'll have our user meeting in 1 week's time and our developer meeting in another 2 weeks. So have a good day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are.
Yeah, have a good one too, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.